I added bagels to my diet last night. Bagels are white though, so I'm thinking about maybe seeing if someone has whole wheat bagels. Those bagels really aren't that good for you because it usually has cream cheese, which is really fattening. I don't know. I don't know. You'd be like, so like recently, what's been going on in your life? And it's like, well, one thing that hasn't changed, which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it is what it is that my parents or whatever, the only times that they were ever like nice to me is basically when they held me hostage for like 5 years. I'm just gonna say it was 5 years because they know what they did was so wrong. But um, besides that, there's like never been like great moments with them. And like one thing that I noticed though is that they like are like that all the time though. It's never just like this normal thing. It's always like extremes with them. So one thing though that I think is a little bit different is like they you can look at a situation and be like they have serious fucking control issues, like serious fucking control issues, and I guess they don't believe in like people growing up to be adults. But serious control issues, and for the first time, so it's almost like people don't get it. People do not get it. Like for me, this is what I've been waiting for my whole entire life. This stuff with them has was so abnormal for me as a human because of how horrible and psychotic they were to me growing up. So it's like this has been my whole entire life. When someone is that controlling and that horrible, like it's not a normal thing for a human. So like this change that's been going on feels like God is giving me gifts. Like God is finally like that's how I have such a good relationship with God is because of all the crazy shit I went through as a young person. And when I say young, I mean fucking young as fuck. And so this change that's been going on in the past month, it's like God is God finally has been listening to me my whole entire life. And when I tell you I was talking to God as a young person, you have no idea what the extent to what that fucking means. When I tell you I feel like my prayers have finally been fucking answered, like all these pieces of my heart are in my spirit are finally being able to see for the first time. It's basically like that. It's like being able to fucking see for the first fucking time. Them revealing more of themselves. And it's so much more than that. But I think a lot of people think that it's just this segment. It's like this shit was so bad at such a young age, and it's been like this my whole entire life. It's been such an abnormal life for me. It's been such an abnormal fucking life for me with these people that it took over my whole entire life. There's nothing that came close to the shit that I had to put up with. So this fucking change with them and stuff, it's like I'm only like a whole person with this shit. Like everything else was just a joke in a sense. Like this shit with them, it's just so hard to explain. But I think a lot of people are that don't know me and don't know anything because I haven't even talked about it. They'd be like, "Oh, this is horrible. You want to kill yourself. This, that, and the other." It's like, actually, it's the opposite. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I feel so good for them. I think, and I think that's what it is. Like, I feel so good for them, even though they're the worst they've ever been. It's like there's been this change, though, in the past month. And then it started like 2 years ago. But finally, it's just like, this would cause fucking like the best readers in the entire world because believe me my life has been the best book they've ever read. This part of the book, it's like they've been reading for 34 years. They've stayed with my book for 34 fucking years. Finally, the 35th year happens actually the month of my birthday. The 35th year of them reading. It's like the best readers would be able to kind of see only by me really showing like illustrating it though. But it would be like cuz this shit's fucking real. That's what makes books really good. And it's like no one fucking gets it though because they're so fucking retarded. But like this shit right here, this is this type of stuff I thought I would only get to at heaven. When I was praying to God when I was 5 or 10, however old I was, I thought I would never get to see this shit happening while I was alive. So it feels like I'm fucking that's why I feels like God's been blessing me and giving me gifts that I never thought I would see. When people think about dying, when people have ever thought about dying, which I don't think many people have, when they think about dying and what happens and stuff, this is what dying and what happens is for me. That's the only thing that I've ever thought of because this shit with them has been so fucked up. That death and heaven and stuff, this was what it was, starting for me from, I don't know, however old I was, 7 or something like that. So like to me it feels like I'm in heaven, like some existential fucking shit is going on that doesn't happen in most people's lives. And I don't think I could make that up right now. So people would see the shit that's going on and be like, aren't you angry? Don't you feel sad? Don't you want to kill yourself and stuff like that? It's like, I feel like God is putting me in my final resting place. Finally. That's what it fucking feels like. I fucking finally feel like God is putting me in my fucking final resting place. There's really no other way to fucking describe it. People don't even know how serious it is or what that is like. because a lot of people think like, oh yeah, I've had a few bad days and stuff like that, and it's like, imagine if like your worst day times 100 went on for 34 fucking years, and you want to know like what that person, what death would is like with that person, and what heaven is like, and being able to escape this shit for them, like what's that like? And it's like you have no idea what this feels like, what this is. It's not even a feeling, because I think this thing that's been going on has been going on so fucking long and started developing at such a young age, and it's taken over my whole entire fucking life. I didn't even really get to live my life. So people could people would look at a situation and say, you have no friends, you have no boyfriend, this or the other. It's like, I never did. You don't get it. I never fucking did. Those things were like imaginary friends to me. No, nothing I ever went through outside of them was real. The only thing that was real was this, and it was a fucking nightmare. And it's been a nightmare since I was very young, and I finally feel like it's finally changing. And I feel like it's something that God has to do with, and I feel like I never thought I would see this day. So, like anyone that fucking loves me, we just be like, I think the best readers are happy for me. I'm and it's not even that people don't understand this, so I'm trying to describe it. It's not that it's that I'm happy for myself. It's just like I never thought I would see this day on while I was living. And like I just feel like I'm a very very good fucking person to be able to experience this at such a young age, when I never thought I'd be able to see this day until I was dead and in heaven. Like there would be no like answer in a sense. Like that's kind of what it is. People just don't get it. It takes a very 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 quiet person to really see what's going on. So it's like I'm sure my book's been different than others. Like when you think of life and shit like that, I don't think you. Maybe everyone had demonic parents. I don't know, but it feels like I feel like undeserving of this, like because I never thought I'd see this day. It's like, especially not at 35. And then people will be like, yeah, but you don't have a place to live and this, that, and the other. It's like, do you think my 8-year-old self cares? No. I don't think my 8-year-old self fucking cares. It's like a bunch of other shit goes on that's different than what was going on when I was 8, though. There's other pieces to the madness, but that shit's irrelevant, really. When this shit right here has been your whole entire fucking life. All the fucking lies, all the fucking hate. It's like one of those things, like you've just been waiting for for this moment, like you've just been waiting your whole entire life, knowing that nothing would ever be different, and then you realize like you finally in the past month, like the waiting's kind of like I can't believe this shit, and it's like you never knew how it's gonna turn out either.
You know? Yeah. You don't go in there and buy anything anyway, do you? Oh. Well, there's drinks everywhere, aren't there? Oh.
That's not by accident, not accidental, which is very creepy.
You did? Oh. Oh, he called you? Yeah, I knew that Mary and Gary hit the LOD in the car.